Hello everyone, welcome back again. This is Jesse, and then in today's tutorial, learn about how to extract data from an API with Julia. Okay, so these are the requirements we need. So what is an API? An API is just application programming interface, and it's just as we have command line interface, graphic user interface that help us to interact with a PC or with a system, with a computer. So an API also is a system of communication or system of tools and resources that helps computers or systems to interact with one another, right? So you put in data and then it brings it out, gives you an output of data. Okay, so we're using the Reddit API. So there's a normal base URL. So behind this is an endpoint. An endpoint is just a server route to different data streams, right? So there's R, and then I'll go. For example, if I do Julia, there's also another endpoint. There's also another endpoint, right? So if I go straight away, it's going to just send me to the JSON data. So JSON is another easy way of that, which makes it easier for us to interact with APIs. Okay, so it can be XML. This thing can be XML. This is nicely done by automatically. It can be XML, right? But let's go with JSON. So there's another endpoint. So we'll be trying to see how to extract data from something like this. Okay, let's start with our own. So this is a normal base, right? So sending an HTTP request to this URL, the base URL, and then the user. So this is an endpoint, and then this is a normal syntax. So the endpoint, as I explained, is a server route to different streams of data, and then this is the where is the location. So we'll be creating our own, right? This is our own, which we're going to be using. So it's Reddit, and then I'm the user, and then this is the one I'm using as my username. There's another endpoint. Then you have comment. So we'll be going with comment. So with this is going to be our base URL, right? Our normal URL going to be this. So URL is equal to this. So if I run this, right, it's going to work well. So you're already loading this. So let's start. So first of all, let's make it simple in a way that you can be able to understand it. So we're going to make it like data. That's going to be our first data. Then we're going to go HTTP. Let's make it response, which is better. Response going to be HTTP dot. Hope it's not small. Let me increase the size. T.get, and then inside it, we're going to pass in our URL. It's bigger. We're going to pass in our URL, right? So URL. So we're going to send an HTTP request to this URL, which we have here, and then give us the response, right? It's going to store this response inside this response variable. And then it's just going to come up in the format of the normal header with the body and then all the other syntaxes. So to check for the response, you can go with response of status, and it's going to print, like, if it's going to work well, it's going to print it as 200. Okay, so you see that that's giving us our response. So 200, that means it's okay. Then keep alive with all these plenty of information, my cookie and all those stuff. So these are the information that is bringing. And then you see that it's having the response body, which is just like this, something like this here, right? But because you are not using Julia's own, we're using our own. So you're going to give us everything. So the kind, the listing, and the data, and all these things. So let's see that in my here, how it's going to be. In the normal way, right? So the mod hash is for preventing CSS, like cross-site request forgery, the kind data, and all these things. The T1, T2, T, all of these are the kinds, and then several. There's a documentation for that. Okay, so let's see how to extract data from this our body here, right? To do that, it's just simple. Just go with, let's put it inside a data that we're going to be using. So data, and then we're going to call it as HTTP, right? That's not how it's going to be done, but we're going to make it like JSON. That's the extent of the JSON dot pass. So we're going to be passing the body. We're passing this body here, this entire body for this response dot body. We're going to pass it into JSON format so that we can be able to read it. So it's going to be response dot body. We're going to pass this inside into this variable so that it becomes easier for us to read and easier for us to manipulate. Okay, so it has done it perfectly for us. So see, this made it vary to two different dictionaries. There is a kind, which is represent the listing here, right? And then the data is the next one. So that's what you want to target. So to move on to that, just go with data, then data, right? And it's going to run it for us. It's going to move to this only data. This is just because it's storing it as a dictionary, can just manipulate it like the normal way of manipulating it as a dictionary. Perfect, right? So if you want to move to the next children, you just go with the same syntax of data, then data for the first level, right? For this level here, then like for this level here, then move to this, right? Okay, so it's going to be like this, children. I think this one is supposed to be up a little. Okay, children, right? So with this, going to move us to the children element, and it's going to print just like everything for the children which we have here. All this data is going to print because we want to fetch for maybe an author or a comment or something. So that's printed. So in this format, it doesn't look very nice, right? So let's store this one inside a variable which we call it children data, children data, right? So that you'll be able to know it. Then we're going to make it print it very well in a nicer format. So the way of printing it in a nicer format, as we learned in the previous one, is to just go with JSON dot print, then children data. So this children data is for the variable that we stored here, right? This children data, and then we're going to go with an indenting, right? So the indenting is usually numbers, so let's make it 2, and then we're going to print it very in a nicer format for us. So this is quite nice, just like we are seeing here, just like this. Okay, nice. So this is how it is. So we want to be able to find something like this, my rough testing guide, something different. So if you want to extract a data from this, it's going to be quite easy because we are seeing it in this way. So if I want to extract something like the author or maybe the body or something, I can just go straight away with that, right? So let's see how to do that in a simple way. So to do that, let's see, we go with children, right? Data, which is for the children, just for this children, right? And then we move on to the data here to get these ones. Then go on to data. So let's try it and see whether it's going to work. Okay, sorry, it's supposed to be this format 1. So this, right? So it's going to tell me that I have to move again to another level. So if I want to move to this one, I'll just go with data again. So you can just create a normal script to be doing it for you with this format. So it's going to move on to the next one, and it's going to move to the next data. Nice, this is perfect. So I want to select maybe the author here. So to do that, I'll just go to select this author here, this entire author. I just add it as the next one as author, right? That's what I want to select. So let's call it author. Let's put it at the top here. Copy in a simple way. Right, something like this, right? So if I want to select the author, I'll just go with, I have to actually mention the name itself. So author, and it's going to print it for me as JCharis. So nice. So that's one of the ways of extracting data. So if I want to extract, so from this I've extracted all the authors from this link here, which was JCharis here. If I want to extract the wow, helpful, like wow, very helpful, right? If I want to extract this entire comment here, I'll just go with same format of, let's say, comment, then same format of this, copy this entire stuff. You can loop through it if you want. Then I'll put it here as a body, right? So it's going to print that body from the body of the comment for us. Wow, very helpful. So this is one of the ways you can work with this API. I hope it is quite a long one, but thank you for watching. If you have any questions or contributions, you can just put inside the comment section so that everybody can benefit. Stay blessed.